Red flag conditions are going to be holding firm through, well, just about the end of the month, as you can see right there. And that'll be mainly for Southern California, Ventura County included. Heat advisory as well. We're just kind of holding off on putting it in Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo counties. But that heat advisory, though, even though the Santa Ana is expected to be, it might be hit or miss. We'll have to wait and see on the details of it. But it should end by the 28th, and then we'll hold on to the heat through October 1st, which is Thursday. So it's going to be a warm week ahead. Today was another beautiful day with 60s and 70s near the beaches, 80s and 90s inland, getting close to the triple digits, but really not that bad. However, probably will get to the triple digits for Paso Robles, or at least very, very close to that as we head toward the middle of the work week, Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, marine layer trying to work its magic along the coast. It's staying just offshore for many areas, but it will likely start to grace some of our coastline as we head into the late night hours. Speaking of Santa Ana winds, right now we're just seeing a nice mild onshore wind. I wish it would stay that way. As you can see, that helps to juice up our atmosphere with the humidity levels. And then as we look toward, speaking of humidity levels, the tropics have been so active this year. Pacific, though, has been a little quiet, and that could be our next storm system, which I think is the M, which would be a Marie, coming for the Pacific side. Now, the Atlantic, we know, has been extremely busy. We're already in the Greek alphabet, and if we do indeed see our next system, which right now it's pretty quiet, that's the good news, we'd start going down this list right here. We've already had Beta. Next up would be Gamma. Now, back to the continental United States. This is the time of year when storm systems start to march into the middle of the country, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So Santa Ana's set up, and high pressure is filling in across the region. So as those storms drop in right here, we start to get the Santa Ana winds. Now, we've almost had one this year. It didn't really materialize, and there's a little hint that's exactly what we could see this time. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call for a windy sort of northeasterly flow. Hopefully the Santa Ana will be short-lived, or it won't show up at all. But right now, we're kind of a sort of 50-50, maybe leaning toward it happening versus it not. But either way, we'll call for it with some hot conditions, and that will last through about Wednesday. And then the warmth, though, will likely last through about Thursday, Friday before we hopefully get more of an onshore flow. And speaking of that, for the next day or so, we'll watch this beautiful fog start to slowly evaporate and get pushed out of the region by about Tuesday. But look at the computer, though, kind of keeping it in play, at least in a few areas. So that might mean that the Santa Ana indeed is not going to be as strong as most of our forecast maps have been sort of calling for the last couple of days. There's just a little bit of uncertainty, and I would love to have that thing go away, because I, for one, would love to see the Santa Ana season be really weak this year. In years past, it seems like it's been pretty busy, so hopefully it won't, but we'll have to wait and see. And there are your temperatures the next couple of days, as you can see, getting very warm with that offshore flow expected. Smoke. Unfortunately, we've been doing so well. Well, if we do get these offshore flows developing across the region, it looks like we're going to probably see that smoke flying back into our area despite the lack of fire. Patchy AM fog, a beautiful day expected with 70s and 80s for many of the coastal areas that get that offshore flow, or at least the first inklings of it. Inland areas, again, will be very warm. Your beaches where the onshore flow holds, look at that, upper 60s, so really no complaints there. As we head down into Ventura County, that will be an area of focus. Now look at the temperatures. With that offshore flow sort of hit or miss, Ventura could be in the 70s. You go to those areas like Oxnard, just a few miles away and more to the east, and Camarillo, and you start to really jump up. Surf will pick up over the next few days as we have swells coming from all directions, so good news there. Both southwest and northwest are lined up. And there's your forecast map for Santa Barbara, and look at that, it stays really warm until we get to that first full weekend of October, when the onshore flow should start to slowly sneak back in, and that means we'll start to get more of the marine layer across the area, and that's good news because that quiets things down and gives our firefighters another chance to wrestle all those fires. We'll be right back in just a minute. Please stay tuned.